All right. So, today I wanted to do a short tier list of, well, kind of short, not exactly actually, of a few games that I've played throughout my first year of streaming, because it's been, well, in a few days it'll have been a year now, and in that time I played quite a few games. Oh, did I fix this list? Oh, I did not. Okay, I'm gonna... Alright, this list isn't exactly... Alright, here's a list of, I think, everything I've played. So, I don't think... Well, so some of the things at the bottom I added back into the list because some of the things I forgot to add, so then I kind of added them on the bottom and then put them in order afterwards, but then it's not numbered properly because I forgot to do that. Whoops. So ignore that bottom part. This is the full list, I'm pretty sure. I think the total is 66, maybe? I'm not sure. I think potentially? I don't know, because there was a lot of times I played something like once and then that was it. Actually, there was quite a few times. I think earlier on, I definitely did a lot of playing a game once and then never touching it ever again. So that kind of boosted the list up quite a bit. But I kind of picked from this just a few that I wanted to actually do this list with. And that list is here. I mean, I think it was in the thumbnail as of right now, so that's I don't know if you want to call that a spoiler, but I mean it's been on a screen before. That screen being the thumbnail as of currently. I might have to change it because I misspelled tier list because I didn't realize there was a space in between for some reason. I don't know why. Anyways, that's enough talking about that. So, yeah, I guess I'll just go in alphabetical order for which one I'm gonna go over. I don't want to spend too long on each one because there's 25 things that are gonna end up on here. And also another thing is, this is a tier list for the game and not for the thumbnail, but I don't know about image copyright things and all that, so I'm using the thumbnails that I made for representing each game. And some are a little bit better or worse than others, so just, I guess, take that into consideration. Also not sure if I'm really going to go by like, or if I'm going to think of like order. Like say there's something that's in S, right? And say it's on the far left and then there's something to the right of that. I don't know if I'll get like really, I don't know if I'll really be like order specific. Like, I think I might just do, like, if something is in S, then it's in S. It doesn't really matter the order. Because just moving things around like that might be a little bit difficult. Because this is being done in OBS, and yeah, not sure how great of an idea that was, but I don't know how the other thing works. So, that's what we're doing. So, this is going to be very, very scuffed, but... well, let's get started. Okay, So now that the 7-minute intro is over, has it been 7 minutes? I don't know, cause wait, no, it hasn't. Well, almost. Okay, the YouTube stream was just kind of cooked for a second. Well, I mean, there is only, I mean, the YouTube live feed, like OBS was fine, but like YouTube was like lagging behind a bit for like a minute. So hopefully there's gonna be no issues with that. Is it running properly? I hope so. I think so. Probably. It's probably fine. It's probably fine. I hope. Okay. Anyways, first off is Arknights. Okay, so Arknights. Now this game, there's many parts about it, right? There's the gacha part, there's the combat, there's the factory, there's the story, there's maybe I'll talk about each aspect as I go through it, just to, because I'm gonna forget when I. Okay, so the gacha, right? I'm not a huge like gacha fan. Like I'm not a big gambling enjoyer. So that's whatever for me. The combat, I liked the combat. I'm not exactly like a combo game or like combo game expert. Like I'm not exactly great with like very specific inputs and all that. But it was fun, the combat. The factory part I think was one of the highlights, because the, like, how do I even describe it? It's just like a factory game. Like you have automation and you have stuff producing other stuff, and then that produces other stuff. Like setting that up was fun to do. And then there was the story. Maybe it's because I didn't play the first game. Well, I played the first game, but I didn't pay attention to the story in it. It was hard to get into the story. Hello. Like, I don't know. It was just hard for me to get into the Arknights story. The characters looked really cool. I played up to Fang Yi, who had my favorite design by far. Aside from that, it's solid, but I couldn't get into the story, so I think I might put this in A. I feel like that's fair, because it's a good game. I like it, but it was hard for me to get into it. Okay. I don't really know how to size this yet, because I'm probably gonna have to end up with things like about this size. Actually, how large is that? That's like, I don't know. Okay, that can go there for now, I guess. Okay, next up is a game called Cat Girl. Now this game is like a RPG game with really, really random stuff. Like, there's like random mini games, random quests. Like the progression, the story is very all over the place, and it's great. Like it's just such a solid game. Like it's like a short game, like maybe like 5 hours, and well, maybe shorter for some people. I spent a while on, like, I spent more time on things that I didn't have to, like playing a piano and making and like doing DJ stuff with a caveman in a cave or something like that. or just mixing music, just random stuff. And I really like when a game just has a bunch of random mini games, and I feel like the writing was like very like how actual people speak. So I low-key might put this in S tier, because like it was just so solid. The combat was a little bit like slightly repetitive, but they still had new things with it. So this is, do I want to put this in S? It's gonna go in S for now. Okay. Yeah, these are definitely gonna have to be smaller at some point. Okay, how can I? Okay, I'm gonna have like 50 layers on my screen. This is gonna be difficult to work with. Okay, next game is this one. The Cruel King and the Great Hero. Now this game is basically, how do I explain it? JRPG, wholesome, good story. Oh, the grinding, the side quests. The side quests. Ooh. See, now the story, I liked the main quests, but the side quests were basically like, okay, so I want you to find this, like I want to make a stick, and because I want to make a stick, you have to find dirt, a twig, and a leaf, and that's gonna have you walk across the entire map, and then walk across the entire map again, and then walk across the entire map again, and then come back, and then you have one component, and then you have to do that 3 more times for like one side quest. So like the side quests were very difficult, and by difficult I mean time consuming. Like they were probably the majority of the game. And it's like while walking through areas, you have to fight things every few steps you take, whether you want to or not. So it was just very, like the side quests were very demanding. Although, it's still a good game. Like when I think of this game, I think, yeah, that's a good game. Like, the combat I liked. Although sometimes it was a little bit, there were bugs every so often where it would just like not work, and it wouldn't freeze, but they would just decide to pause battling, and they would just stand there for a minute. I don't know these games except for Hotel. Yeah, some of them are a little bit random. One of them, I think I might be the only person that actually has a complete playthrough on YouTube, like ever. At least for English speakers. Like I'll get to that though, but and then one of these actually isn't even a game. Well, I thought it was. It kind of. We'll get to that. We'll get to that. But despite the issues with this game, I would say it was still very enjoyable, regardless. So I think I'll put it in A. Okay. Next up is, what is next? Deltarune. Okay, Deltarune. Deltarune was one of the most enjoyable games I think I've played this year. And it's just so solid. It's just really good. Like the story, the exploration, the combat, like for Deltarune is like the how do I explain it? It's like, imagine an alternate universe of Undertale. It's like made by the same person. Some of the characters are still in it, but their importance level, actually, you know, well, I think I've said enough. It's basically like an alternate universe version of Undertale. It's music, gameplay, story, characters, design, aesthetic. I really enjoyed playing this game. Like, I played chapters 1 through 5 most recently. Well, I guess to say really quickly, a while ago, like many years ago, maybe not that many, a few years ago, I played Undertale and Deltarune's chapter 1 and 2. But then because chapter 5 came out recently and I kept hearing about it, I didn't want spoilers, so I decided I'll just play all of it. So I replayed Undertale, well, first time on stream, and then I played Deltarune chapters 1 through 5. And so like all those I played like pretty recently. So yeah, Deltarune, I really liked playing that. Yeah, no, it's just everything about it is just really solid, I think. Sans. Yeah, he could do that. Okay, Deltarune easily goes into S tier though, easily. Okay, next up is ENA Dream Barbecue. So when hearing this title, one may think, what is happening? And throughout playing this game, the amount of times I said, what is happening, was probably a lot. This is probably one of the most... I feel like the only way to describe this game is fever dream. Like, just really, really random stuff constantly. Like, it's I don't even know how to explain it. Well, I mean, I didn't draw the character from the game for this one. I just kind of drew my own my quote-unquote model, my own personal PNG for this one, just because it was a bit faster. Because I think I played this in 2025 when my thumbnails were a little bit more on the cooked side, no pun intended with the barbecue. But I guess the best way I can describe this is, this game, like, it was very abstract and surreal, which I like. It was very different, and that was cool to see in a game, just something that's different. And there was kind of a lot going on, to be honest. There's a lot. Some things that were really cool in it that I liked, aside from like the abstract stuff, was the use of language. And I don't mean like oh, swearing and all that. I mean, like, they had characters speaking in many different languages. Like, all of them were like subtitled with translations and all that, but like they all spoke different languages, which was just very cool. Because I don't usually see games doing that, and that was definitely something that stood out to me. But yeah, also a lot of it was kind of like just figure out what to do, because it was like, oh, here's a quest, but the quest you get in like a giant area, and I don't think I used a guide for this game or anything like that. So it was very much like, oh yeah, just to like figure out what to do. But it was very interesting. I might have have to move I might have to move Cat Girl into A tier. Because I might put this in A tier as well. Because it's very, very solid. But it doesn't quite stand out to me as like, this was an amazing game and I'm gonna remember it for decades. Although it is memorable in its own way. Hello! Okay, what game is next? Next up is, ooh, easy S tier. Easy S tier. Ender Magnolia. Ender Magnolia is, it's such a great game. It has, the combat system I really liked. Like the combat system is like, you actually, maybe A. Maybe, we'll see. So the story was decent. I feel like I was more invested in. So this game is the sequel to Ender Lilies. That game, I think I was invested in the story a little bit more. Although the story, this one, still is pretty good. I don't know, I just wasn't as invested in it, but the combat, I feel like, was definitely the part I liked the most. Because you could, like, decide, you had, like, a certain amount of slots, and then you could put different weapon types in. And, like, it was very, like, customizable. And the movement in it was just fun as well. Like, just playing this game was very fun. Like, it was just a very enjoyable playthrough, except there was one point during my playthrough of this when I had to apparently go to an area, and I went through like every single area, but I missed one little tiny hole in a wall one time, and because of that I spent like a really long time looking for the next area, and I didn't know that I had to just go to this one little tiny hole in the wall. But aside from that, it generally was a very enjoyable game. Like, I just really, like, I feel like the combat of this game really, it was really fun. I'll give it S for now. Low-key, I don't think anything is going to B or C today. I don't think a single thing is going to B or C. Alright, next up is Hades 2, which I did not finish. I am actually still on my playthrough of this, but it is very fun. Story is interesting. I really like the way they go about the story. I really like how, like, so Hades, it's like a roguelike game. You do a run, you don't die. You basically die, but then instead of actually dying, you teleport back to your starting area, and you can potentially get stronger based on your build or whatever. But the way they go about story is like in between runs, when you talk to people at the starting area or just wherever, then you gradually learn more and more about like the world around you, and that is like I like the way they do that. Also the gameplay I like a lot. Like you pick which weapon you want to go with, and then you get random buffs, and then you have to pick which buffs you get, and then like that system I like that. The roguelike kind of the loop that it has, it's very fun. So I think it goes into S, because I didn't finish it yet, but I have high hopes for it. Okay, next up, Silk Song. Okay, this was a 2025 thumbnail, so it's a little bit it's a little bit cooked, but the one that's gonna be shown in 2 more is gonna be a little bit more cooked. Go with Deltarune. Yes, Deltarune. Deltarune is such a good game. Hello. Okay, I need to drink water for a second. Hold on. Okay. Hollow Knight Silk Song. Amazing game. Soundtrack, gameplay, story, gameplay, combat, bosses, abilities, builds. Great game. Platforming, map, art. It's great. It's great. Limbus, Clockwork. Yeah, that is true. That is very true. All right, next up is Kabuto Park. Now, this game was a very short but very enjoyable game. I think this might be one of like the highest rated on Steam potentially, which might have been how I found it. But it's like a very short game where you find bugs and then you have them fight other bugs. Well, and by fight, I mean you pick up to 3 bugs and then you have them try to, like as a team, push the other team of up to 3 bugs off of a tambourine, and it's great. The art is cool for it. The bugs are, I feel like, because I think they had like actual like real bug like facts and all that, so that was very interesting to see. Like there were some bugs that were very cool that I did not know existed. Like there was like, what was it, the long neck weevil or something? Like there's some cool bugs that I didn't know existed. But I feel like this gave me, I feel like I appreciate bugs a little bit more than I did previously to playing this. And I feel like if this game was able to do that, then that has got to show the level of quality that it has at a minimum. So I feel like, what do I say? Let's see. I'm still killing every bug on site. I don't know what to tell you. Maybe. I'm torn between S and A, because the build that I went with throughout the game, I went for the strength build, so I just picked whichever bug was the strongest without using really the abilities much. But there's a lot of options you can do in that game for different builds, so maybe I'll put it in S because of that. Okay. Alright, next up is Limbus. Now, once again, some of these thumbnails are a little bit scuffed. I think this might have been one of the first thumbnails that I ever drew, so that's why there's a few things, such as it not being the proper screen size. The Silk Song thumbnail was also from around the same time period, which is why it's also not the proper screen size. That thumbnail. Yeah, it's interesting. Best thumbnail. So when talking about Limbus, there's kind of a few things. There's a few different aspects to talk about. One of them is the chapter that I played during this year, the most recent one. Another is the daily grind / gacha aspects, and then another is the kind of weekly updates, because that is also part of this game, because that I go over quite a bit, quite frequently. So I guess I'll talk about the gacha and weekly, daily stuff first. So I very rarely do my dailies for this game, to be honest. When I do my dailies, I just auto skip whatever things. The weeklies, I don't like doing my weeklies, as people probably know. If you know. I do not like doing my weeklies. Like in on this, waiting for updates. Yeah. So the thing is, I do not like doing weeklies. Now I will do the weeklies every so often. Hopefully once a week at a minimum. Sometimes I forget about it, unfortunately. But I don't like doing weeklies. It's just not fun for me. Now, there's things that can make it more interesting, but in general, weeklies and grinding I do not like. However, something that I like very, very much is that grinding is an option. And what I mean by that is, if you grind enough, you can basically get any character, any unit you want in this game for free. Like, you do not have to pull in this game. Like, pulling in this game is basically optional, unless you want a thing from a collab event, which has happened literally once in its course of 3+ years. So pulling, there is no need to pull. I do not pull. I only pull in this game on like a very specific event that does not come around very often, and even that has maybe like 2-3 characters. I did not pull on like a single banner aside from that so far in this season. I have missed some weeklies, and I think I still right now have enough grinding currency to get everything from this season. So like the fact that you just don't have to like pull is great. It's really good. Parchment tried to make a gacha game, but made a game with gacha instead. Yeah. I feel like it's just like, is it a gacha game? Technically, I guess by definition, does it feel like a gacha game? Sometimes when you look at the gacha banners, but you don't need them. You don't need to get dupes of characters. You get the character, and then if you want to like upgrade them, you get like shards for them, which is very accessible because you can get that by grinding. And if you want to just craft a character, you can just grind for their quote-unquote shards, and then you put some shards together, and then you got whatever you want. Like it's just so easy. It's just so easy to get literally anything you want in this game. Parchmoon is too good to make language. Yeah, but like it's so, what's the word? Accessible? I don't know if that's the right word. But then also like the season pass as well is just like it basically triples the grinding speed, basically, is what the season pass does. So like that, like they also make it feel very worth it. But I'm not gonna Or this is not a sponsored stream. Okay, so next to talk about is the weekly updates. This was originally made as a side project. Okay, yeah, and I feel like as someone who's been playing Olympus for a while, I think, like, I feel like I've definitely seen more and more effort get put into the game as it has went on. Like, it's almost surprising how they're not slowing down. They've actually just been speeding up with like releases and stuff. Like, yeah, they just delayed a thing, but because they're making it better, like I really think they should just take as much time as they need. Also, I don't have a problem with them just taking their time on stuff. I think they should actually. So later candidates. Yeah, so about the okay, wait. First I'll go over the updates and then I'll go over the story. So the updates, like every couple weeks, usually there's normally a update, and going over that is fun. Okay, that's enough about the updates. Like, I mean, sometimes the updates have more, sometimes they have less, but generally it's just very fun to go over. Okay. New banner ever freaks. Yeah. They're pretty good at getting content out. And then now for the story. So they are up to chapter 9. Well, and I guess there's 9.5 or a couple 9.5s, but I'm gonna be talking about 9. Well, not spoiler wise, like I'm not actually gonna talk about what happens in it, but just talking about it as a whole. So the first few chapters of the game, like up to chapter 4, I wasn't super into the story. Chapter 5, I feel like, is where I started reading every line of dialogue. Like that's where I really started like reading every single line and really just locking in, because the story from then on, I feel like, is just really good. And the chapter that came out during this time period of me streaming was chapter 9, and chapter 9 was really good. They set up a lot of things for future plot points. They handled one of the characters' story very well. Music was very good. Gameplay was good. Story was good. Pacing was good. Overall, like, it's just a really good game right now, and it's good. Okay, so this is easily an S tier. This is easy. Oh, that's so visible. Oh, I'm so glad how visible that is. That's great. Oh, that's that. Okay, all right. There's not much else I can do about that. All right, next up is Lobotomy Corporation. Now, this game is so Olympus Company is the sequel to the sequel of Lobotomy Corporation. And Lobotomy Corporation is really what got me into the series. Well, so first off, I found Millie's String Theocracy, that song. And then looking at stuff up about that song, I found out it's from this Project Moon series. So then I do some more searching and whatever, and I find out the first game is Lobotomy Corporation, and I see things about it having very interesting philosophies, or like philosophical discussion, and that is something that I really like in a story, is like when stories get either philosophical or psychological, just like having unique concepts brought to mind, I think is something that I really like when I see a story. And so I watched a video on basically like LobCorp, all dialogue, basically. So I watched a video of LobCorp all dialogue, nothing about the gameplay. So when I started playing the game, I was like, okay, yeah, this is fine. And then it picked up, and then I was having fun, and then the grinding part came. The grinding part for Lobotomy Corporation, if you want the proper gear to succeed in this game, what is required of you is to play the same stage, essentially. Well, it can be a few stages at a time, even. Those same few stages over and over and over and over and over and over and over. Like, you have, like, I had at one point, there, what, like 50 employees or units or whatever. 50 characters that I had to control in this game. And when I had to, like, not had, but when I was playing this game, like during that playthrough, I had memorized all 50 of my employees' names, where they were in the building, what thing they were working with. It was not fun. It was not fun at all. It was like, even the most recent thing that I got up to, one moment. Okay, I had to cough. So the most recent thing I got up to in this game is day 49, which is close to the end of the game. And it's just, I kind of stopped playing it at this point because it kind of just lost the enjoyability, the fun factor. It kind of dwindled a bit. Because there's a time period in this game where it's like, yeah, this is fun, this is enjoyable, and then there's the parts where it's like, I don't want to touch this anymore. So honestly, I'm even considering putting this in B, to be honest. No pun intended. Because the story, amazing story. It's what got me into the series. Gameplay. Some parts are good, but I'll put it in A because of how good the story is. But if it was based on the gameplay alone, low-key gameplay alone, it would be in B, because some parts were fun, and B's not that bad. Like, I wouldn't put it in C. But some parts of that game are painful. Oh my god. Okay. All right. Next up is this game. This game. So this game is, I'll talk about this game first, because this game is the game that came first, which I know Limbus is after LobCorp, and I just did Limbus first before LobCorp, but this game, there's a reason why I'm going to go over this game first. So this game is a very how do I describe it? Psychological or philosophical game, because it really goes over like there's this main character. Also, you can probably tell which thumbnail was made first and second. One was made at the start of 2026, one was made recently, and yeah. So this game, I guess there's I really can't tell. Can't? How it I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, yeah, okay. So okay. So this game is an amazing game. Now it's about, how do I, maybe without saying what it's about, well, a general gist of it. There is a character, and in this game also, it's very meta. Like, there is a very clear separation from the protagonist, from quote-unquote Lilith, and from the player themselves. No, I don't gotten better at drawing. Thank you. Yeah, I guess it's not hard to improve if your start is this. Okay, how do I? Thank you. Yeah, no, I did try to put a lot of effort into improving on that. There's a little bit of effort going into it. What do you mean that's your best dog to date? Yeah, for sure. Okay, so this game, there's a very clear distinction between the character that you kind of play as and or make choices for, the player, and Lilith, which is the character in the thumbnail. All the downhill since the first one is the company thumbnail. Oh, you're right. I gotta go back to the old art style. Ooh. So this game, throughout the game, Lilith has a question for the player that is she real? And I feel like something that I really like about this game is they kind of let the player decide. Because a very common theme in this game is something about existence and the relation between belief and faith and truth. Like, the idea of, if you believe that this oven is a time machine, then the oven is a time machine, which is like such an absurd thing. Or like, if you believe this strawberry cake is strawberry cake, then it is truly strawberry cake. But if you believe that it is not strawberry cake, then it's not strawberry cake. And just like a lot of different ideas relating to existence. And existence is one of my favorite topics to like think about or talk about or discuss, because it's just very like interesting how much there really is to it. Like existence, humanity, there's a lot of philosophical topics that I really like, but this one I feel like covered the topic of existence very interestingly. And to me, it was very interesting to see like what the writers, or writer, not sure how many people wrote, but like what the developer of this game thought of existence. And it was just really interesting to see someone else's perspective through like a game lens, I guess. And in this game, they really let you like pick choices for the main characters in ways that make it feel very like custom to your own philosophies, because you can either choose to like accept or reject the existence of this made-up character. But like it's just a very interesting way to go about a game, and I thought it was really well done and very well written, and it's just a very overall good game. But so this is an S tier. If the way I was talking about it doesn't already give it away, this is an S tier. Now, there is a sequel to this game. And the sequel to this game is... I don't think they used the same developers. Like, I think the developers were changed potentially. So this game takes place after the first game, and I think there's like a ending of the first game where you just sit down with the player and Lilith, and Morphine Paradox is Morphine Paradox, it's very interesting. So the concept of Morphine Paradox, or of this game, is that it is a game made by Lilith. And they actually had to rebuild this game because the initial release was very broken, I guess to say. So they kind of had to remake the entire game. And so the first time I played Morphine Paradox, or the non-existence of Morphine Paradox, the Forest of Silver Shallots, the first time I played this, there was a point I got to in the game where I got a quest to get a sword, or to get back a sword. Now the problem with that is there is an option for you to give your sword away or to not give it away. And I very clearly remember pressing the option to not give it away. So I was very confused when a quest came up where I had to reobtain a sword that I never gave away. And during one of the dialogues in that quest, a character popped up who I did not meet yet, and they were apparently part of my my guild when I have not met them yet. So the first version was a little bit broken. The rebuild, there was still a little bit of problems with, but it was generally fine. I finished it, ? And I feel like the ending was much stronger than the start. Also, this game, oh my god, this game, there's a little bit of psychological horror at play with this game. Now, I don't mean like scary stuff, but this game, because of this game, I was kind of afraid to load saves when playing completely different games. Because there's a point in this game where if you load, I don't know if it's a specific number of saves, if you load during a specific area, but there's a certain interaction where the game acknowledges you loading save files, and that was horrifying. The idea, not like scary, but like the idea of like losing a bunch of save progress, and like, I mean, there's just so many layers to that, of like, it was very, like, I was very scared to load previous save files in, like, when I was playing Deltarune, a completely different game, but like, when I was thinking of reloading a save file, I was very worried too because of this game. And like, so the story, I really didn't see all of it, to be honest. I think I really only touched the surface level, because because the game is quote unquote made by Lilith, a lot of the quests, so at the start of the game, they keep saying like, oh yeah, she made this, she made that. Oh, what do you think of that store that I made? Oh, what do you think of how I designed that thing? But at a point in the game, they kind of stopped doing that. And then I kind of forgot at certain points that like, oh, these are quest lines that Lilith set up, that this character set up. And I kind of forgot about that at a certain point, even though they really talk about it so much at the start. But then when I finished the game kind of the first time, then they kind of say like, oh yeah, that was a Lilith's game, by the way, how do you like it? It's like, well, isn't there more? And then it's just, I think it needs a little bit more polishing. I don't know if it's done. I didn't even talk about how broken it is. The combat, I could not get to work. It is very, the combat is very, very hard to work with. It feels like it does not work. I don't know if I was using it improperly, but I had a very, very hard time getting it to work properly. And it's a turn-based game. Like, I don't know if they need to fix more stuff. I don't know if I was just not playing the game right. I was very confused during the combat throughout the entire playthrough. But also some of the writing, there was very specific instances that kept reoccurring and was like, okay. Anyways, I think that's enough of this game for now. Where do I put it? I'm between A and B. A can't go into S. It's too broken to go into S. I think the ending might push it into A, but generally I would say B. But because of the certain ending and other meta aspects, I think as a whole it should go into A. Because there's also a lot more to it that I did not see. It's a complicated situation. Okay, One Shot. This was I believe a 2025 game. As in, I played it 2025, I believe. It's in S tier. Good story, amazing story, good characters. It's a really good game. It's so solid. It's good. It's good. How do I even explain it? It's good. Okay, next. Outer Wilds. Also a 2025 thumbnail. Oh, what am I moving? What am I? Okay. All right, Outer Wilds. S tier. It's an S tier. It's going in S tier. Space, exploration, quantum mechanics, physics, not sure which one. Either way, it's an S tier. Story's fine. Gameplay, great. Exploration, amazing. It's good. Okay, next up is another game that I did not finish, which is Persona 3 Reload. So this thumbnail is kind of a bunch of other thumbnails pieced together, as one can probably tell, but it's a very, very long game. I think I'm like a third of the way through. It's a good game. Music, amazing. Gameplay, good sometimes, because grinding I do not like. Like Tartarus, I'm not a huge fan of Tartarus. Story, I mean, so far it's fine, but I haven't really got to any of the peaks in the story yet. Like I've yet to see like the good parts, because I know it gets like way better, and then I haven't reached those parts yet. But I've like, of what I've played, I've enjoyed it a lot. I just haven't been playing it consistently. But I know it's a good game. But I do have to rate it off of what I've played. Although I think I still have to put it in S, just because like walking around with like the music in it, it's good. It's good, and it's good. Okay, can we? All right, that's good enough. All right. Next up is this game. So this game, it's a pretty short game. Story's fine. Gameplay's fun. Yeah, I'll give it A tier. It's a silly, chill, fun game. Okay, Pumpkin Panic. Now I do not have the title in this thumbnail because I guess I forgot to put that in there. Pumpkin Panic is it's a really good game that really surprised me because I never knew it existed, and I think it was around October of 2025, and when I decided to play it, because it is a farming horror game. The goal is to farm to make money, and then you use that money to buy gears to fix up a boat to escape the place with horror things on it or whatever. Now, I do not like horror games, but because of like how well made this game looked, I decided to play it anyway. Because this game, it just like the concept of it, along with like just how it is, like I just think it was made very well, and I just feel like it should have more attention than it does. So this game, Pumpkin Panic, is, I might put it in S, honestly. It was a really solid game. I finished it. There was a hard mode. I was not doing that because I think the hard mode has jump scares, and I'm not doing that. Not doing that ever. But I did finish the normal mode, and it's a good game. I might. This is difficult because it was a great game, but I don't like horror games, so I think because it's a horror game, I have to put an A. But that, for me, that's very high for a horror game, because I don't like horror games. Okay. Next up is this one. So this game, I guess a quick background for this game. So there was a time I was looking through random games. This was a while ago, and I found this game, and I thought, that's interesting. I don't know why I can see this game on my Steam page, because I thought I can only see things that are in English only, but I saw this somehow. But somehow, I don't remember when I got the idea. What if I played a visual novel game that I just can't read? Now, there is no English in this game. And there is no language setting to change it to English. And I looked it up, and I don't think they plan on translating it to English. So I had no idea what was going on throughout my entire... Okay, also, why I really focused, or why I wanted to play this game, is because the tags that were in, or that were on the game, were like visual novel, detective. I think that was it. I don't remember, but those two alone, I was thinking, yeah, that would be fun. And it just looked really interesting. It just looked cool. Like, I was kind of expecting like a murder mystery type situation where one person is the killer, and then you have to go around thinking who it would be. And I thought, okay, well, if I can't read anything, then I might just start accusing random people of doing things that they did not do, because I just don't know what's happening. So basically what it ended up being was, during the dialogue, I would just make things up. I would just make things up. Now, there was parts of that stream that got like claimed, like audio wise. So part of the, like, some audio of it is just cut completely, but like throughout the stream, I'm just making up the dialogue, because I just can't read. I cannot read, because none of it's in English. So that kind of came with a few troubles. One of them is during parts where there's puzzles. One, I did not know that I was doing a puzzle. Two, I had no idea what I was looking for. Three, I could not read, so I couldn't even read the instructions for the puzzle. And another thing that was an issue is when I tried to look up like guides for it, there is not a single guide for this game in English. I tried looking for things on YouTube in this game. I think there's one video on YouTube about this game that isn't my own. And I think they got stuck in the first 5 minutes because they had the same issue I did, where they couldn't get past a part, like a puzzle that there's no instructions for, because I cannot read. So I don't think there was anyone on YouTube that has played this game fully aside from me. And so finding guides for this was very, very difficult. I don't even remember how I managed to do that. I think I ended up, like, by the end, I had to go onto like the Steam page in another language, which I could not read, and I kind of just had to match letters or characters to try to make things out, and it was very difficult. I think that's probably my longest stream currently because of how difficult that was to do. So it was just a very interesting process. So overall, like, the game was very... Now, I have no idea what was happening story-wise. Not a single clue. But it felt like it was well-made, so I'm going to give it an A. Because it felt like it was well-made, but I can't give it an S, because I have no clue what was happening in the story. Because I cannot read. I simply could not read what language it was in. So I just had no idea what was happening. But it was, despite not being able to read it in the slightest, it was fun, which is why I'm still giving it an A. Okay, now, Space for the Unbound. This game, really good. I think it started a little bit slow, but by the end, it was very good. It's a really good game. I just like the plot points in it, the characters, the story, the gameplay. It was a little bit fetch questy, but overall, it was enjoyable, and it's going in S tier. Okay, why is that? Okay, anyways. Alright, next up, Uma Musume. So, how do I even... It's a game where stats go up, and when numbers go up, that is fun. Like, this game, I feel like, does really well specifically as a mobile game, because you don't have to, like, set up your whole, like, PC and all that. Big number is good. Yeah, it's a game where it's like a stat training. Yeah, this is another one of the first few thumbnails. You might be able to tell. I feel like all the first few thumbnails look very similar. I think it was what, like Limbus, Persona, Uma, Night Rain. I think Silksong is the first thumbnail where I actually drew a character and didn't just make like a stick figure with like one detail on him. But you know, just like the stat training aspect of this game is just fun. Now, I don't pay attention to the story in this game, I'll be honest. I just don't. I have not read any of the game's story. Now, have I watched parts of the animated series? Yeah. But the game, I've not done anything for, because I think I found out about the series first, and then after watching some of that, then I found out there's a game for it, and I was like, oh, there's a game for it. That's cool. Oh wait, there's a global version coming out recently, and so then I figured, oh, cool. But the story for this game, I think the game and the series have kind of different storylines. I don't know what's different because no idea what goes on the game, but the gameplay I really like. We're just here for the big numbers. Yeah, like you pick cards to, and then like those cards are for specific stats, and then the stat training aspect and the timing aspect, and then you have them do the races, and then like seeing them race with the, like after a fully completed run that went well, and then seeing like the stats training pay off, and sometimes even just like having them have the stats, it's just fun. Like just doing the stat training itself is fun to do, seeing the numbers go up. So I might put it in S, to be honest, even without knowing what the story is like, just because just the stat training alone is so fun. Okay. Alright, I don't know why it's not connected anymore up there, but anyways, next up is... Wow, we don't have a lot left. We have 4 left. I kind of went over this a lot faster than I thought I would. Some games I gave much more time to speak about, because I guess some I felt like I needed to speak more about than others. Also, there's some that I kind of avoided speaking too much about because they're just really good without spoilers. For example, One Shot and Outer Wilds. Like, those two games, I feel like if I talk too much about, it gives a lot away. And those games are just, they're really good. They're really good games. Games are below B. Yeah, I don't think anything's making it to B. Actually, we'll see. Actually, probably not. Okay, next up is Undertale. Undertale, I kind of talked about a little bit with Deltarune about the progression of me playing Undertale and Deltarune a while ago, but then coming back to it recently. Undertale is a great game. It's just a great game. It just is. Music, characters, story, gameplay, design, like just everything about it is amazing. Like, it's really good. Undertale, I think, is a very influential game. Because I feel like after Undertale, like playing a lot of other games, I feel like then it's like, okay, what, like, I feel like it's much more, like, it's very thought-provoking in a sense of, like, video game ethics. And, like, a question of, like, the correlation or relation between a player and the way they choose to play a game. Like, some people say, oh, it's not that serious, but then other people say, oh, well, maybe it does have some meaning. And I think, regardless of whatever people think about it, I think it's just a very interesting thing to think about. Like, the relation between, like, a player and how they play a game. And I feel like this game really goes into that without talking about it, like, at all. So it's just very interesting to me. And also the story itself is just very good, I think. See, and that's great. I think, like, a game being able to provoke thoughts, I think, is one of the best things a game can do. Like, something that I very strongly look for in games, there's, like, different types of games that I will try to seek out. There's games that are simply fun. There's games that are, like, educational in a way, as in they, like, teach about either a topic or, like, an idea. And then there's games that are very thought-provoking. And I guess that kind of fits with the second one. Maybe there's two. There's ones that are just purely fun, and then there's ones that are thought-provoking. And I feel like the best is ones that combine both. And Undertale is both. Undertale is a very fun game and very thought-provoking. And that I really like. So very similar to Deltarune, where almost everything is really, really great about it. There's not even much more to say. I think I've already said so much about it. It's very good. Wait, that's how LobCorp is in the nest here. Yeah, LobCorp, as great as the story is, just due to the gameplay's nature, I can't put an S tier. Makes you think of the gameplay. I mean, the gameplay is fun at some points in LobCorp, but because of the parts of it that are very unfun, like the fact that it's not fun throughout my entire experience, like, if the memories of the good gameplay outweigh the memories of the bad gameplay, then maybe it's manageable. Like for Ender Magnolia, for example, some of the gameplay of that is some of my like favorite of this year. Like the gameplay of it is so enjoyable, Ender Magnolia, but there were some parts that were a little bit tedious. But because of how great the general combat and gameplay was, like the parts that were a little bit tedious are in the minority of like moments of the game. Yeah, but you get Abno's escape, think we'll die. Yeah. Yeah, which is exactly why, because things like that in LobCorp happen so often, and because of how just like painful it is. I forget one thing. Yeah, because of how like tedious that part of the combat or gameplay is in LobCorp, it cannot reach S because of that. But Undertale, on the other hand, does not have such issues. Undertale is an S easily. Okay. Next up is Void of Lily, and this background or thumbnail should not have stars in the background for certain reasons. But I made the thumbnail before knowing that. So this game, the gameplay is kind of similar to Undertale and Deltarune. Like the gameplay very much reminded me of that. The story is really the main thing with this game. Mainly the ending, actually. And the ending, the true ending, is not a happy ending. Now, just because of the fact that I choose to be optimistic, I choose to have the idea that it's a hopeful ending, but I don't think that's what's intended. And I am someone that likes happy endings. Like, I can appreciate the quality of an ending that is sad or a bad ending, but I like for a game to always have the option of a happy ending. But in this game, I don't know if they really give that. Now, even though it's potentially a bad ending, I still choose to view it as hopeful regardless. But it just left a certain aftertaste, I guess. But overall, like the fact that they kind of hint at said ending throughout the game is very, like they lead up to it in a certain way. Well, they lead up to it very, very subtly, and then the game ends, and then I was left thinking, that's it? There's not more? And that was kind of the point of the game, I guess. Like, it was very abrupt, but that was also kind of the point of it. And they kind of led up to the idea of the ending. It's hard to explain without spoiling the whole story, but it was very interesting to see, I think. Like, very interesting. I think I'll give it an A, because I think it was done... Was it done well? I think it was done well. I didn't like how it was done, but I feel like it was done well, which... Does that make sense? Not sure. I feel like I have the sentiment of... I may not like it, but I think it's good. Like, I think it's a good game, but I didn't like the direction it went at the end. But at the same time, they hinted at it leading up to it. The gameplay I generally liked, I think, although it has been a while, so because this is over the course of a year. So I don't fully remember, but yeah, it's kind of complicated feeling, I guess, but that's okay. Okay, next up is Witchspring R. Witchspring R. Ooh. Okay. It's like when you don't like the gameplay, but it's not high quality. I don't know. I think going back to Void of Lily really quickly, I feel like it's how I feel about Cyberpunk Edge Runners. Like, I do not like the ending at all, yet it's still a great show. I didn't like the direction they took at the end of the game, but it was still like a solid game, and it was still like interesting that they went with that, I guess. I feel like that's the best way I can explain it in terms of Cyberpunk Edge Runners. Okay, next up is Witchspring R, which might be one of my favorite playthroughs of a game. Out of all of these games, this might be one of my favorite playthroughs. Now, this game, so this game, I think it was like it's supposedly like a 20-ish hour game on normal mode. I chose very hard mode. I chose the hardest mode possible, and yeah, I made a few different thumbnails for this game. This is the one I just am using for this tier list, because I think this is one of the higher quality ones. This game was very fun. The combat, the weapon system, the leveling system, the training system, the characters were mostly good. The story, I feel like just the gameplay in general was just like really fun. This was just a really fun game. It's like, how do I explain it? It's just a really fun game. Like, collecting materials and then crafting your like potions and your weapons, and then upgrades, and then you craft the stat boosts, and then like you make new spells, and then you have to unlock swords, and then there's the pet system. And I think playing this on very hard mode made it a lot more fun, because there was some enemies that were actually difficult. Because I think I was looking through the comments, and a lot of them I think were like, this game's really easy. So I figured, okay, well, if it's a really easy game, I'll just play it on the hardest mode possible. And there were some enemies where that came to be a little bit of a problem. Like, there was one, for example, where the more defense you had, the more damage you would take. Now, you might think, that's not how it works, right? Well, there was an enemy where that was just the case. The more defense you had, the more damage you would take. So the way to beat it was basically taking off all of the armor you had and throwing as many bombs as you could at it, and just spamming DPS and nothing else, because otherwise I would just die in a turn. And it was just that one fight was a little bit scuffed. But aside from that, generally, it was very fun. Yeah, but like, overall, enemy difficulty being higher, like, there were some enemies that were still easy to beat, but the fact that the ceiling was so high, like I kind of went into every boss fight thinking like I had to be much more like strategic about it, I guess. And the game with like different spells and weapons and different weapon evolution paths and all that is very like customizable the way people want to play. Like, so it felt very like free in the situation, or in the case of like you can kind of do what you want. Now there were chapters and there were time limited events, and that was a little bit stressful to do because I didn't want to miss any of the story. So what I had to do was I had to find a all missable things guide, and I had to follow that guide alongside each chapter. And so I would basically see like, oh, at this part then I have to do this very oddly specific thing, but until I would get to that point it would be kind of chill, as in like until I would get to that point I could just not have to worry about it. But then once I got to the point, then I would go and do whatever side quest I would need to do. So that was a little bit stressful, but overall this game was a very enjoyable playthrough. It was a very like chill game. Like the story was interesting. Now, I won't say it was the best writing I've ever seen ever, but it was enjoyable. It was fun, and it was good. So this is an easy S tier. This was a very enjoyable game. It's wrong, confused. The Konami code, low key, it was a little bit like that. Like there was one part where it's like, okay, so you have to sail. Also, there was a part where in the water of this game, you have to use the map and you have to go in certain directions, although the map does not go by north, east, west. Like the mini map. So like the map was in the wrong direction for some reason. So it was a little bit difficult navigating sometimes. Like there was a time I had to find the islands off of a very specific shore or whatever, and it was just a whole process. And then it's like, okay, now you have to go into it, now you have to leave it, and then go to this place, and then you have to go back into it, and then you have to leave it, and then you have to go in, and then in again, and then you leave it, and then you have to talk to someone, and then you go back to the thing, and then you open something, and then you go back, and then like there's some some very, very specific things that needed to be done in this game. But that was a very small part, when in general, the gameplay was just really fun. Like the combat and the aesthetic and the vibe, I think was just very fun and enjoyable for a game to have. But it's easily going in S tier. This was a very fun game to play. Like I really took my time with it. I think it was what, like a 70-hour playthrough or something. I spent a while playing that game. It was fun. I really liked that game a lot. So, you know, if I could just lock in on Persona 3 like that, then it would be done by now. But this game was really, I liked it a lot. Okay, next up is Zato. Now this game is not a game. So apparently it's just a visual novel. Now when I first saw this game, I thought that I would be playing a visual novel detective game where like I make choices and then have to figure stuff out, The player does nothing. The player reads the story and clicks the mouse. That's it. Now, should I have read a little bit more closely? Possibly. Do I regret it? No. This was a very good story. Very interesting concept, and as I kind of said before, concepts are... I value them a lot in games, in everything. Like even when I pick a show, sometimes I pick things based off of concepts. Remember what's my name played 4 games at once? Nope. I don't think that ever happens. Anyways, so this game had very, very interesting concepts because it involved the universe, and that is like a pretty grand scale, right? So that is just a very interesting thing to see, and like just something in the story being about the universe and just like concepts like that being discussed and just different ideas. Like it was just very interesting. And I think there wasn't just like that as well. There's also other ideas and themes, such as like, even though you're having like, even though there may be like issues in one's life, someone can still like choose to have a good day regardless. Like there's a lot that this game really goes over, and I think it was just very interesting to see. And so I liked it a lot. There was a point where I thought I was going to end the game soon, so I kept thinking, oh, 5 more minutes, and that ended up being a very long stream because of that. And then there was a point where I got to a point and then it said, oh, chapter 2 ends, now we're starting chapter 3. And once I saw that, after like as long of a stream as that was, I just had to stop at that point. And then I continued the next time and then finished the game, and it was amazing. It was a very unique story and a very interesting one. Overall, it was very enjoyable though. So it's kind of hard to say that this is really a game, because it's more of just a visual novel at this point, but it was enjoyable. So I might have to put it in A, purely because this is a game tier list and this is not a game, but it's still really good. It's still great. This is one of the streams I came to. That low-key, the Zato streams, I think they were very rough on my throat, because it required a lot of reading, like a lot. And reading for long periods of time is very taxing on my voice. Even like during like Olympus story update streams or whatever, like Olympus, like the chapters or whatever, is very difficult. Like my throat by the end of the longer stream for Zato, I think it was like my throat was like getting sore. Like it was rough. It was really rough, because it was just hours upon hours of just reading constantly, which is very difficult. Yeah. Okay, so that is all for the ones that I had in mind. I didn't exactly see. Now, if I knew that I would have got this done so quickly, I might have added in some of the other ones. to this. I mean, I guess I could still add them in, but not sure, because I feel like this is a pretty good stream length. So maybe I'll call it here. Okay, let me really quickly you know, I kind of want to duplicate the scene. You know, let me try something out. Let's duplicate scene 13. So now I have 2 scene 13s. Okay, and now I want to, let's try something out. Let's do that. That. Where is that it? Okay, that. Get rid of that. I'll get rid of that. And then that will go there. That will go there. And then these games are too peak. Yeah, honestly, I didn't expect anything to go into B or C today, because I kind of chose games specifically that I really wanted to talk about, because I don't want to, I never want to speak poorly of games, like, ever. Like, I feel like, as someone who streams, I don't know if I can really call myself a content creator. I don't know if I would go that far, but as someone who plays games on a line, I have the opportunity to show people games that I think are good. Like, I have the opportunity to like expose games to more people, and with that I can talk about games that I really like. So that's kind of what I wanted to do with this, and well, what I did do with this. Which is also kind of why I don't know if I want to really order the games by like, oh, this one's above this one, because they're all great, and I don't really want to put one game down over another or under another. Like now there are games that I obviously like a bit more than some of the others in the group, but I still wouldn't want to, you know, I guess just out of respect for, I don't know, maybe I'll feel differently another time, but as for right now, I kind of just don't want to do that. Okay, I want to make all these larger. Although I don't know how much I'll be able to fit, because I want to be able to take a screenshot of this and have it be, what is this? What am I dragging around? Oh, the total game list. Okay, I can stay over there. Okay, alright, that's gonna be on the bottom of the screen at that point. That can be as well, it's getting in the way. Okay, maybe I should do this another time. Well, I don't know. Hello. Okay, you know what, maybe I'll order them a little bit, just a drop. Like Olympus, I think Olympus can be, well, I mean, I play Olympus probably more than the rest of these games. Well, I say that, but it's actually probably not true, because when I do play Olympus, it's probably not for more than like 5 minutes. I already ranked them all. Okay, so Olympus might be number 1. Actually, Olympus should not be number 1. Not even a B tier. There was a B and C, but I got rid of them because nothing was in them. I never really planned on putting anything in them in the first place. I kind of just thought it would look better for a tier list to have them. but I never really planned on anything going into them. Now, Silk Song versus Deltarune and Undertale. I think Deltarune's gotta go here. Okay, this is so, like, unorganized. As in, like, they don't... Why do they not, like, lock to the sizes? This is so... No game is mid. Oh, there's certain games that I did not include in my list that for certain reasons. There are definitely some games that are mid, but I don't like talking poorly about games. Is all. But yeah, no, instead of talking about games that I don't think are the absolute peak, I decided that I wanted to use this as an opportunity to talk about games that I really like so that other people can enjoy them as well. If they so want to. If they so choose. Okay, can we... You know what? Silk Song, you're getting a little bit covered because your thumbnail is like... It's fine. It's fine. Alright, that's fine. Okay. Outer Wilds. Okay. Oh, oops, what am I... Alright, it's fine. Okay. Thumbnails went downhill after the Locust Company thumbnail. You're right. You're right. I think One Shot next. Oh, and then probably Ender Magnolia. Ender Magnolia is such a great game. Oh. Also, Ender Magnolia has Millie music in it. For anybody that likes Olympus Company or Millie in general. Millie is just goated. Absolutely goated. But yeah, all of these games are just great. Millie is so peak. I agree. Millie is absolutely peak. I'm into Millie from Olympus. I low-key got into all of Project Moon from Millie, to be honest. It was all from String Theocracy. Like their new song. Oh, I forgot to listen to the new Millie song. I remember that there was one, but I just haven't listened to it yet. I think A Space for the Unbound is next. That one, maybe this should have been a little bit smaller. No, it's fine. Okay, I think we'll do Persona 3 next. And then... Oh, why does it not snap? I should... You know, low-key, this could be solved with like one Google search probably. That I just did not do. How to snap things on OBS. Oh well. Covering another game. That's interesting. Although I do kind of hope that Limbus fans just let comments of things that aren't Limbus related stay not Limbus related. Because I think I remember hearing about that being an issue at one point in time. Of like Limbus fans just spamming Limbus stuff on songs that had nothing to do with Limbus, and it's like, just keep it to Limbus, I guess. Because then it kind of like detracts from like whatever the other works are. I feel like, and it's just, I don't know. Okay, next up, I'll put Haze 2. Kind of good for the new song. That's okay. I don't even really know what to say about that. See, now it's like not gonna be exact, but whatever. Actually, no. Is that better? No. Is that better? No. Is that better? Yeah. See, now if only it would snap. This would be so much better if it would just lock into place. Lock in! So made a fan-made version. Huh. Not really sure what that means, but I might check it out later. Okay, right now we're just kind of trying to clean this up. Because I might post this. Because right now I have one social media post. That is my first thumbnail tier list. And that's it. That's my one and only social media post ever. So this might be good for a second social media post ever. It might also not be. So we'll see. Thumbnail. I don't know what's going on with that. Okay, I know what's going on the bottom of A tier, and it's a LobCorp. It is very easily LobCorp. On the top of A tier, it might be Arcanite's Enfield. Enfield is fun. Also, Feng Yi is a thing, so if you see it, you'll get it. I'm sure I would. Okay, Enfield, then Zato, then that. You know, I guess I can order it. You know, maybe it's not that big of a deal if I order it. Okay. Great Hero. And then ENA Dream Barbecue. Then oh, the name isn't on this game. I might have to include it on I might have to make a small edit. Well, I'm not gonna do that in Paint. I'll probably just add a text thing. Okay. Why is this? Can we? Alright, whatever. Low key, I could probably make these a little bit larger, but oh well. Oh well. Okay. Anyways, next up is like this one. It just kind of makes sense. Okay, then I think the ones at the end here aren't too important. Maybe this one. Then how is this so uneven? How did this happen? They should all be the same size. I don't know how this occurred. Who let that happen? Who did that? Who made these thumbnails? Okay, so now why is it like that? Oh my god, is that, no. Is that better? Maybe, I don't know. What was that? Okay, this would be just slightly larger. Okay, now this would be slightly smaller. Oh my god. Maybe this can be... Oh my god, is it 1 pixel off or something? It's gotta be 1 pixel off. It's 1 pixel off. Okay, that's 105 from the edge. What about 104? Can we get to 104? No, we can't. Okay, stop locking into place. Okay, we got 103. Is it 103? No. Oh wait, is it 107? Maybe 107. No, now it's too small. Maybe 106. I can't get to that 1 pixel measurement. Oh my god. We'll just move that 1 pixel to the... It's fine. It's fine, it's fine. It's fine, it's fine, it's fine. It's literally fine. Okay. I think Heathcliff made the thumbnails. Besides the this thumbnail. It's an interesting take. Low-key, I want the ones in S to have more space. Because if I want to post this, then I want it to look better. So maybe, just maybe, we take this, move it down. Wow, I'm so good at using OBS. I'm so talented. Wow. Wow, can we... Is this gonna work or not? No! Okay, I guess not. Alright, I need to move this out of the way for a sec. Best OBS user of all time. Thank you, thank you. Oh wow, wait, it's actually lined up now. The Pumpkin Panic one and the and the LobCorp ones. Okay, now we can take the A, which is tiers 2. Move that down. Take this, move that down, and then tiers 1. That can be there. Now these games I can make larger. Perfect. Perfect. Amazing. So good. And it's already off. Why do they not snap? Why? Do I have to hold shift or something? Okay, now they're snapping and I didn't even press anything. Is it shift? No, it's definitely not shift. Let me undo that. That was, oh my god. Okay, can we... Alright, so it's definitely not shift. Whatever it is, it's not shift. That I know now. Okay. Why? These are like the same size. I don't know why. Oh, because they're not the same size, that's why. Alright, whatever. Whatever. See, like, they just snap and then don't snap when they don't feel like it anymore. Which makes it a little bit difficult, but whatever. It's fine. Okay, that's level now. Well, level enough to the point where it's whatever. Oh my god, okay. Can we maybe straighten that out? Okay, it's fine. It's fine. It's good enough. It's good enough. I'm gonna now take all of them and move them down, perhaps. Move up the A tiers of the line. See, now I was actually thinking of moving the S ones down a little bit to leave room for the top, because I feel like that would be more aesthetically pleasing. Also thinking about moving all of these just slightly in so that I can fit them a little bit neater. As long as the line is flat, that's fine. Is the line flat? No. Now is the line flat? Yes. Okay, now that can all go there. I guess it's a little bit better. And then I want to, oh, I accidentally just moved it early. So undo that. Oh, now I'm, okay. All right, I gotta be very careful doing this. Because if I move one thing even, no! Now I have to redo it. All right. Okay, right now I'm selecting every single thing in the S tier. Got it, got it, got it. Okay, I think I might want to have it a little bit away from this line here, just because it looks a little bit more aesthetically pleasing. And then middle, I think here's a good spot. One shot, oh my god, you know, it's fine, it's fine. One shot, there it is. There we go. OBS Pro. Yeah, I did not see that, but thank you. Okay. Wow, that one was so much easier to select. Okay, this one can go... Honestly, I think that might be fine. Yeah, okay. All right. And now this align can be a little bit more centered. Okay, now I think this looks good. I think this looks good. I think the A, I might want a little bit off of the side though. Like 1 pixel off, and it's not gonna work because of snapping. What if I hold control? Oh, I'm so smart. Okay, can we get 1 pixel off of that? I can't, it won't tell me how many pixels it's off of it. Is that good? Yes, yes, that is good. And then actually, I'm gonna do it a different way. I'm going to do properties and then alignment center. And then I will slide, okay. So that's not what I was going for. Let's undo that. Best stick figure of all time. Thank you, thank you. Okay, so that did not work at all. So yes, it's all time. Thank you. Yeah, it's a little bit of a work in progress, but I've been making it work. Kind of. Okay. Now, I think this is good, Loki. Now we can, hold on, let me see if I can do something really quick. If I can do that, and then I can do that. Okay, and then I have to switch out the scene 13 for, wait a minute, for, because I set this up with scene 13, not scene 13.2. Add source, scene 13.2, add one existing. And then we move scene 13.2 on top of scene 13, and then size it properly. And then look how professional that looks. So professional. Can this size thing please just work properly for 1 second? Oh my god, alright, whatever, it's fine. Okay, then there we go. So professional. Yep. And it's not covering the top part. Hold on, is that? Okay, there we go. There we go. All right. So, there it is. Honestly, I was not expecting such a symmetrical number to happen. Like, that was not planned, actually, like, at all. I was not planning to put specifically 15 and 10, 5 to each row. That was not planned. I mean, I guess it works out, but yeah, cool. Okay. Well, that kind of took a little while just to do that. Stream scripted. Yeah, I don't know how people do scripts. I could not deal with a script. That would be way too much work. Like, not only would I have to write one, but then I would have to read it as well, and I'm not dealing with that. That would I just couldn't imagine scripting stuff. Like, I don't know. That's why I don't do videos, because I just do things live. It's just so much easier. Because, like, I just do this with, like, my free time and whatever. I don't really have time to be writing scripts and all that. Read it in time, by the way, no mistakes. Or Reddit. Yep. That part of my script where I talk about not writing a script that I'm reading right now. And then cough. Parentheses, drinks water, and parentheses. Yeah, no, sometimes I'll, like, think of something that I want to discuss or talk about. But even then, I do not, like, go in with a plan. Like, sometimes I'll, like, think, like, oh, maybe I'll, like, go with this beforehand, but it's just rough. The chatters are part of the scripts. That could be. Yeah, I mean, I guess technically it is written out, but, yeah, no, I like this tier list. I think it's good. Now, will some people disagree? Oh, definitely. There's not a doubt in my mind that plenty of people could disagree, and people are able to do that. I think something that's really good about games is people feel differently about them, and when people have differing opinions, you get different viewpoints and perspectives, and I think that's a very valuable thing to have. LobCorp in A tier. Oh, LobCorp in A tier is being generous as well. LobCorp is a hard game to get through. Low-key, maybe Enfield should be higher. I feel like maybe Enfield and Kabuto Park should be swapped, honestly. You know, I think that it's not perfect. Cause maybe if I did this yesterday, or if I do this tomorrow, then maybe I would feel differently about games, cause feelings change over time. And that's, like, a very natural thing to have with games. Like, it's very normal to love a game one day, and then the next week it's like, alright, I don't really feel like playing that anymore. But in general, most of these games I chose specifically as games that I really want to share with people. Most of them. Some of them are kind of just there, but some of them are games that I really wanted to take the time to talk about and be able to say, this is a great game and people should check this out. Play the same game for once and then you get burned out eventually. Yeah, that kind of happened with LobCorp, to be honest. I mean, it wasn't like months, but it was just a very repetitive game with a very similar gameplay loop, and it's a long game as well. So it was very difficult. One game that was a very long game, Witch Spring R, that was a very long game for me, but I did not get burnt out of that. I think I also paced it very well, because I played a lot of things in between it, and I just remember not getting burnt out while playing it, because it was just really, like, I was playing other games in the mix of playing it, but I was still like always excited to play it next. So that made it really easy to get through, because it was just really fun to play. I think that's probably like the best feeling one can have when playing a game, is you can always come back to it being excited to keep playing it. Like, that is great to have. I meant on a smaller scale. Yeah, I think it can definitely happen on a... I mean, with Morphean Paradox, I think I definitely had a lot of burnout, because I was trying to grind out... I was trying to play the game in its entirety as quickly as possible, because I didn't want to spend too long on it. I didn't realize it was going to be as long as it was, so those were very, very long streams to finish Morphean Paradox. So I was definitely very burnt out while playing it. Like, after the first stream of it, I started getting very burnt out of it. Even Limbus sometimes with the intervalos, I won't, like, because reading is a difficult thing to do on stream, because there's like, talking normally is one thing, but reading kind of takes, I don't know why, it feels like it strains my vocal cords a lot more, because I don't read with like a reading voice or anything like that, but it just feels much more strenuous. And then there's also like the mental aspect of it taking it just takes a lot more energy to be reading dialogue as opposed to speaking naturally. That's my variety is good. Yeah, there's some advice that people give to new streamers, and advice that is very, very common. And that advice is, do not be a variety streamer. Do not do a variety. Find a niche and stick to it. And I did not listen to that. I just didn't. Because I don't care. I guess, like, for me streaming isn't like, I'm not trying to be the #1 streamer in the world. For me, this is like my free time to do things that are fun for me. So for me, streaming is much more, I want to do what I think is going to be fun. And this past year, I've had a lot of fun. And I'm very glad. Not for me singing, because if I sing like 1 minute, throat starts to hurt usually when I sing. Yeah, I feel like singing especially is very, I mean, I don't sing myself, but I feel like I've heard that it's very, very straining. And I think I've heard something about like, there's certain techniques that people use to have their throat like not hurt, but there's like a lot that goes into it. Like, I have a lot of respect for people that can sing at, well, I was gonna say at high levels, but really like any. Like, singing is like a very difficult thing for me to do personally. Like, I don't really have like I don't have the confidence or the what's the word? Like, it's just an impressive thing to be able to do. So that's nice. I used to be able to sing a lot. I see. reading. Yeah, I feel like reading like short things is like generally okay, but like reading like for a long, like out loud for long periods of time is very, very difficult. So I'm very glad when there's voice acting in Limbus story, because then when I don't have to like read constantly, it's so helpful for my throat. Although it's also a little bit difficult, to be honest, because not talking while streaming is kind of just as difficult as having to read constantly. Because then it's like, then it's kind of hard for me to tell where I'm supposed to interject or not, or whether I should just lock in and focus on getting through the content, or... Because also the Limbus story stuff can end up taking a while sometimes, so there's really a lot that goes into it. Talk about reading for like an hour or two, water without any screen. That's really good. Yeah, that's good. Okay, I'm wondering if I go over any of the other, because I have the full, where is it? Oh, do I not have the full list of games on here? I don't think I do. Hold on, let me do add source, text. Where is total game list? Here it is. Total game list. Okay. Let's see. You know, maybe I'm not going to talk about most of these games, or any of them. You know, I think I went over the ones that I wanted to. Yeah. I think I'll not talk about any of the other ones for now. For now, maybe I will another time, but as for right now, I think that'll be all. Okay. There is, I guess here's me wrapping it up. There is a Limbus update stuff coming up. Self-collab stream 1. That's another thing I wanted to do eventually, although I don't have any immediate plans for it. Although I could potentially do that soon. I could potentially tomorrow, actually. I have to figure things out, because there's the Limbus streams coming up, because there's the preview and then the update. Both of those are different streams that I want to do for the new stuff. And then there's also, because it'll be 1 year since my first stream in a few days, so I wanted to do a stream for that. So that is something that I also wanted to do. This is kind of part of that, I guess, going over all the games that I have played in my first year. But I'm not sure if there's anything else I want to do for it. Maybe the self-collab could be one of them. Only 40 shards off already. Okay. So, yeah, aside from the, I guess, 1 year anniversary stream and the Limbus ones, not sure what else will be before then. Because I guess there is a few days, like there's maybe like about a week-ish before that stuff. Well, the Limbus preview is a little bit sooner, but there's like a few days where there isn't those things that I just mentioned, so I'll see what I end up doing. But the self-collab stream is definitely an idea. I've been avoiding making new thumbnails before doing the 1 year anniversary thing, because I have been setting up something for that kind of related to thumbnails. Like, I guess I have been kind of, well, I've had to go through a lot of my files because they're like not organized, and kind of just collecting thumbnails in order and then kind of just putting them all together in a huge block. I guess kind of like, do I have an arrow? I do have an arrow. Okay. I guess kind of like this, like how they're all in like a big block, but it's like that, but like covering the screen. And I did one of those for, well, I'm working on one of those for the 2025 thumbnails and one of those for the current 2026 thumbnails, but because it is up to current, I don't want to start adding more stuff and then having to shift things around, because it's like already kind of in progress. So that's why I've kind of been avoiding doing new games, but there is more stuff that I want to play. There will always be more stuff that I want to play, because games are great, and games are great. I like the thought-provoking aspects of them most. Like, I feel like the ones that make me think are the ones that I really enjoy the most and stay with me the longest. As in, like, the ones that feel the most impactful, I guess. But yeah, I guess my final note for this stream is, I guess I really just wanted to take this opportunity to tell people about games that I like, if anyone is looking for a game to play. And I really didn't explain them all that in depth, and I didn't really give like a full review of each one. I kind of talked about the general gist of some of them. I was thinking maybe I could do a like reviewing game stream another time, but I feel like a tier list format is the most like simplest, and I think it is something that I can post on a wall. Well, post metaphorically, not literally. Well, I guess I could post if I do that. Yeah, I could do that. I could post it. But like, it's a very easy way to convey, these are games that are good, check them out. And yeah, some of these games may be a little bit more difficult to check out than others, being that one of them is not in English, and I cannot even tell you what the title is because I can't read it. But yeah. Oh, that reminds me, I wanted to put the Pumpkin Panic title on it. Let me fix that really quick. I just reminded myself before. Okay, let's do add source, text, add new text, Pumpkin Panic. Okay, I think the thumbnail file name is wrong, actually. Was this game in all caps? Hold on, let me check Steam. Let me minimize all of my stuff. Hopefully the stuff doesn't break down. Steam, completed. Is Pumpkin Panic in here? It is. Okay, it is in all caps. Okay, I thought it was in all caps. I was right. Okay, now let me open that back up. Okay. Pumpkin Panic. And then font size. Let's make that really tiny. Okay, that's a little bit too tiny. Actually, is it? Maybe it is. Maybe it's not. You know, maybe that's completely fine, actually. Alright, that's fine. Pumpkin Panic. Okay, actually, it should be a little bit larger. Should be a tad larger. Let's try 24. As long as it stays inside the green, I think it'll stay aesthetically pleasing. Okay, maybe it, you know what, that's... Alright, we're making it larger. Something that I've noticed over my course of streaming is I feel like the titles, like the text and numbers in thumbnails have progressively gotten just larger and larger. All right. I'm probably gonna save this and post this after ending stream. So not right now, but in like 2 minutes when the stream is over. Okay. So yeah, these games I think are good. And if anyone wants to check them out, there they are. All of the games are listed at, well, on this screen, but they're not in order right now. But well, it's in alphabetical order, so they're kind of in order, but they're not in order of the games that they are. But yeah, okay. Games are really cool. So with that said, thank you to anybody that stopped by, and have a good one. All right. See ya.